This is a 3D scene that I spent entirely too much time making. And this is you, the flashlight. The light cone is your attention. Whatever you shine it on becomes visible, clear, and defined. So thank you for shining it on my video. At any given moment, your brain is absorbing an unholy amount of information, so it needs some mechanism to filter, sort, and reduce the energy cost of dealing with the constant barrage of inputs. That's why only a fraction of that information ever reaches your consciousness, as to not overload your awareness, and a fraction of that ends up within your attention. This is what attention does in essence. It focuses your mental resources into a narrow point, tuning out the noise so your brain can process what's most relevant, whether that's a sight, a sound, a feeling, or a thought, amplifying whatever matters at that moment and dimming everything else. But it may not seem like that, because we can be very adept at bouncing our attention back and forth between two or more things. It's not multitasking, it's task switching, like holding a nail in one hand and hammering it with the other. It would be rare to have trouble with something like that, because the two tasks are complementary, so it feels like you're paying attention to both at the same time. But try being in a group call while listening to a philosophy video. Your brain will only collect fragments of both input streams before it goes up in smoke. And this is by design, because conscious awareness is an expensive resource. That's why we tend to forget and ignore things, pushing them outside the awareness to reduce the cognitive load. And this can create blind spots, like how your nose is in your line of sight and you can't see it until you remember it's there. Or how you forget that you can feel your clothes brushing against your skin because you wear them every day. Or maybe you're totally naked right now, I have no idea. But what I do know is people see what they're predisposed to seeing, not what's actually there. You might believe the world is a cruel place, so cruelty is all you will see. Or you believe that you are a failure, so you downplay and ignore everything you've ever achieved. In simple terms, reality is what you choose to see. But before we get delusional here, let me clarify. No one can invent facts. If you have no money in the bank, that's a fact. If you spent the whole night scrolling on your phone, that's a fact. We are not here to change facts. We are here to look at them and try to understand, so we may choose better outcomes. And the fact is, your self-image is built on what you consistently notice about yourself. If you fixate on your flaws, they become your identity. If you focus on your strengths, they grow and multiply. You are, in so many ways, what you pay attention to. Think about this analytically for a second. Your experiences in life shape your knowledge, which informs your thoughts and feelings, which decide your actions, which then create memories that reinforce your beliefs, and that decides how you experience life. And at every step of the cycle, things are being filtered through your attention. Like breathing, it's a continuous unconscious process that you can choose to control. Because if you are not in control of it, something or someone else might be, and they decide who you become. In this supposed age of individualism, all I see are hollow shells, plugged into algorithmic machines. We've become copies of copies, imitations of a fake. The algorithm doesn't just show you content, it shapes you into a docile consumer. It feeds you a persona, then rewards you for mimicry. And so we compete for attention, for reach, for numbers. We've replaced quality with quantity, authenticity with performance. Everything became a performance. Even the moments we once lived for ourselves are now staged, filtered, captured, and posted. And behind it all, the parasite feeds. It latches onto your attention and turns your time into a product. It doesn't care who you are or what you want, it only cares that you stay, that you scroll, that you engage, because the longer you are here, the more money it makes. Welcome to the attention economy. They didn't just steal your data, they sold your impulses. They turned your mind into a battlefield and sold tickets to the war. This is a hijacking of the most precious thing you own, your focus. And without even realizing it, you've outsourced your selfhood to a machine designed to keep you addicted, staring back at it, waiting for your next fix. One can never be in control of that which he is unaware of. But awareness by itself is not enough. You can know you're being manipulated and still be powerless to stop it. You can notice your attention slipping and still not catch it in time. The human brain is programmed to prioritize the unpredictable because it might threaten our survival, even if it never actually does. Consider this, for example. The soft, steady rhythm of rain can gently fade into the background of your mind. Your brain decides it's safe. No new information, nothing to see here. Compare that to construction noises. Chaotic, intermittent, and varied. You can't tune that shit out because the brain can't turn this random assortment of sharp noises into a predictable pattern that it can safely ignore. This is the primal process naturally in charge of our attention, and it applies to everything within the awareness: sound, sight, even thought. Yes, this also explains why you might find yourself stuck in thoughts about someone who loves you one day, then hurts you the next, who makes so much sense and makes no sense at all. A walking contradiction. You don't know how to predict them and don't know how to break away. This is called intermittent reinforcement. It puts you in a maze where the walls shift and change to keep you locked in. The same mechanism that turns people into gambling addicts. And while you're absorbed in that chaos, the rain came and went. Those kind, gentle, consistent ones who didn't constantly hijack your attention but deserved it the most. You only notice their value once they're gone. Don't let the good in life become something you only appreciate in hindsight. Because if you really think about it, you don't need a motivational speech or a self-help book to change your life. All you need is patience, the ability to tolerate discomfort. Boredom is discomfort. That's why you pick up the phone or fire up a game to escape it. Rejection is discomfort. That's why you give up, retreat, or mold yourself into whatever won't be rejected. Loneliness, shame, uncertainty, every one of them is a moment where your attention slips, where you reach for the nearest relief instead of holding the line. This is the unfortunate truth about human nature. By default, we are run by the desire to escape negative emotion. And who can think straight, running away, pumped full of fear? That's why we should train the ability to face what we fear, so we can stop this life of constant running and, for once, make the conscious choice to follow what we truly desire, to meet our personal potential. Because when we do, we enter a flow state where our choices become our own, not the result of some programming or circumstance. It's a state where you can really engage with life, with your tasks, passions, and other people. Attention is the key to switching the paradigm, to change this relationship of cause and effect, where you feel you're constantly at the effect of life, but rarely the cause. You have the power to be the cause in your own life, and it all starts here. Your attention makes things real.